Good morning. This is my cat. It's MAGA Hat Monday, and these are two ugly, sanctimonious bitches that I wouldn't
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Okay, what I've had it with, and just let me take a second. I've had it, and I've said it a million times, with adults taking babies into adult-only spaces, i.e. movie theaters, restaurants, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take that one step further. And the other women were goo-goo-gawing, normalizing this woman, I would even dare say, encouraging her to bring this baby back. Again, I think she should have been heaped with ridicule and shame and dirty looks the entire time. There's no business for a baby to be at a nail salon.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Get off my leg! These are my legs! Get off my leg! I told you, get off my leg! These are my legs! Get off my leg!
What's good, my people? You're watching the MC Too Tall Show with your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host that is never gross, MC Too Tall. And we want to talk about the climate and the culture again. We have to revisit the climate and the culture, the psychotic cycle that we're in because of the Democrats. It's a violent culture, out of touch with reality, and I'm not just talking about the fringy freaks with the blue hair, the smelly hairy armpits, and the face that looks like a combination pincushion and door knocker. And yes, they are a freakish, violent brood, but let's face it, everything left of center is morphing into that. And you know it, you see it. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear with, you can see and hear what's going on. And you know that I'm right with this. Oh my God. You have adults training children. They're training the children to kill Donald Trump. They have this piñata-looking thing, but instead of beating on it, they're training the kids to stab it. And of course, it's not breaking up because it's really not meant to be broken up for candy to come out of it. It's just meant to be abused and beaten on and even stabbed. Stabbed. That's what they're doing. They're stabbing at a depiction of Donald Trump. And it's just wrong. I mean, it's not like it's a depiction of the people of the goth scene that despise my presence and my live music performances. No. This is the President of the United States, and not just any President of the United States, the greatest President of the 21st century. And they've got the gall to hate on him that much that they would make this stuffed dummy of him and train the kids on how to kill him. The violent rhetoric that almost cost Donald Trump his life in real time. The violent rhetoric that actually did cost Charlie Kirk his life. The kind of stuff that makes it okay for a person running for Attorney General in the Commonwealth of Virginia to openly talk about a political rival getting 2 bullets to the head, even if in the presence of Adolf Hitler and Pol Pot. Conservatives and even some of the moderate Republicans often compared to Hitler because it's become commonplace to be okay with killing Hitler because Hitler had so many people killed, so it's okay to kill him. Therefore, if you call anybody else who is not Hitler, Hitler, it becomes commonplace to be okay with killing that person that is said to be Hitler. And while all this is going on, one of the ugly bitches from the I've Had It podcast, I forget her name. They call her Pumps for some reason. And she says that she's had it with children being in adult spaces. And she's not talking about adult spaces of this hate culture that there really should be no space for. She's not talking about Drag Time Story Hour or a burlesque show or a drag show or a nudist beach or a gathering of the maps. And I'm not talking about navigation papers and things you look at to see where you're going. I'm talking about gathering of minor attracted persons, aka pedos. She's not talking about that. She's talking about something as mundane as a nail salon. Unbelievable. And you have Adam Schiff and Cory Booker. Adam Schiff and Cory Booker talking about how they want you to know what democracy looks like. They're screaming, this is what democracy looks like. And they're screaming, hooting, and hollering. It doesn't look like democracy. It looks like a same-sex couple, a newlywed same-sex couple, trying to take down the republic. And screaming and hooting and hollering exactly how they said one should not back in 2004 when Howard Dean ran for president. It's amazing what they're okay with now when they used to shun Howard Dean for his overzealous reaction in optimism toward beating John Kerry in the primaries, which of course never happened because that overzealous scream cost him his election bid. But yet Cory Booker and Adam Schiff could go wild in a warm embrace like two lovers. Not that there's anything wrong with that, as Jerry Seinfeld would say, but, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But, again, something like that's not a child's space. That's an adult space where children don't belong, if you catch my drift. And so, this is the climate, this is the culture. Violent rhetoric that leads to actual violence in our streets. And there are people to this day that are still ridiculed while walking down the street, minding their business, wearing this hat. This hat is no different from a Yankee hat, New York Knicks hat, New York Rangers hat. Real Yankee, Knick, and Ranger fans, by the way, are okay with this hat as well. Just to let you know, tough New Yorkers are tough enough to be okay with this hat. Even if they don't own one themselves, at least they don't have a bug up their ass every time they see this hat. Those are real tough New Yorkers. There's nothing tough about you if you are triggered by the sight of this hat. And that's what happens when you get your feelings hurt and you get all violent about it. I mean, if you're going to get violent over a cause, go after the people who make fun of my nose. Those are the people worth risking your life and taking out. But you go after normal people and strong and benevolent leaders like Donald Trump. Shame, 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 shame on you on the left. And I'm talking about all of you left of center, because if you're not doing it, you're condoning it. And you'll condemn the action, but not everything along the road that led to that action. Like, okay, whoopee-doo, Cenk Uygur condemned crooks shooting at Trump, and Robinson shooting at Charlie Kirk. Okay, whoopee-doo, whoopee-doo, but where's the condemnation for the rhetoric and the road that led us to those two destinations? See where I'm going with this? So, these people are uncouth, classless, unintelligent, uncivilized, borderline animalistic bums. And I don't owe them a shred of respect or human dignity for what they spew and what they are all about, what they stand on. They stand on taking away the freedom of Americans. And communism is not freedom. Socialism is not freedom. And a municipality that taxes are taken out for is not socialism. It's a municipality that taxes are taken out for. So yes, if you pay into the police department with your taxes, that's not socialism. Anybody who says it is a fucking asshole that doesn't know what he's talking about. And if you engage in a conversation with somebody who brings that up and starts talking about that, once they start going in that direction with the conversation, don't say another word. Let them walk away while they're in the middle of talking. You don't owe them an explanation of why you cannot continue the conversation with them. Just know that they're stupid. They don't deserve any further respect from you. And walk away from them. And this is what we're dealing with. So, the normal people have to understand that these people need to be written off. A lot of them you cannot engage in conversation with. They are very uncivilized human beings. And as long as there are people with a sympathetic ear towards these animals, you have more people that you cannot engage with and have any kind of peaceful dialogue with. Unfortunately, it goes against everything someone like Charlie Kirk stood for his whole life. And it's a damn shame, but it is what it is. It is a damn shame, but it is what it is. They have to realize on their own, if they're not as nutty as the people around them if you got a few people there on the left side of politics that are somewhat normal on the surface, they have to realize on their own that the people around them are total loons and nut jobs and psychopaths that would even resort to violence. And they have to get out of that asylum that they put themselves in on their own. And when they start walking towards us, then we start feeding them the little red pill and pointing out where their side went wrong and why that side should not be their side anymore. I mean, I've been pretty successful in flipping Democrats, Republican. Hundreds, literally. Somewhere between 300, 380. I mean, it's a modest number. It's only a 3-figure number. But the fact that I've been able to do that by word of mouth, person-to-person conversation, couple of conversations here and there online, I would say that's a pretty good feat. Who's to say? Kamala Harris probably wouldn't have been president of the United States if not for me talking to those few hundred people that I've talked to who were dead set on voting for the Democratic candidate for president, who happened to be Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, Kamala, same difference. But, yeah, there are a few between that you could have that dialect with, but you have to have that sixth sense, so to speak, in order to detect who exactly those people are. Reasonable people that want their children safe, that understand being exposed to certain harmful lifestyles is indeed that harmful. Understanding that sexualizing the children at an early age and giving them knowledge they have no business having at an early age. There are certain things children should not have privy of knowledge to. It's okay for a 6-year-old boy to still think babies get dropped out of the sky by a stork. It's okay for them to believe that a jolly fat man in a red suit shimmies down their chimney and gives them toys on Christmas. It's okay. Let the children be children. You're going to turn around, tell the child that there is no Santa Claus, but then tell them something that's just as unrealistic, like they can become a girl, or that they're meant to be a girl. Not to mix lewdness with biblical terms, but God already showed you who you're meant to be. Just look between your damn legs. Praise the Lord. And that's how life works. That's how life works. And if you have a key that can open up any lock, you are the key master. But if you have a lock that any key could just open up, the lock is broken, the lock is garbage. There's no point in even having it. And it's very important that you understand that analogy, because that will take you far in life. And so the world, I wouldn't say the whole world has gone crazy, but there is a faction of it that's going crazy. It's the left are losing their grip. And what we have to do is find the supposed moderates, or when you hear certain things being told in complaint about the radical left from somebody who professes to be a moderate left person, that's when you point out how similar that is to all the things they thought they stood for up until that day, and how important it is to abandon all that and support the right side of history, the correct side of history, which is the right side of politics. The Republican Party is the party of morality. It has been founded as an anti-slavery party, and it has never been a party of general consensus of sentiment that we should go back to slavery. That's the Democrats. Martin Luther King was a Republican, and the KKK was founded by people who were Democrats. Notice I didn't say the KKK was founded by the Democrats. They were founded by people who were Democrats. Different analogy. There's a difference there. And if you can't figure it out, go get a protractor and a slide rule. And a calculator in which you could calculate square root. This is all I'm saying, my friends. This is all I'm saying. The left has gone loonier than they've ever gone before. They're resorting to violence. They're losing their power. And there are paid protesters that are given cue cards to read so they could shout out whatever they're protesting against. And they can't even do that. But they'll take the money, though, just like any other old DEI hire. So, when they get this desperate, It means we are on the team that is winning. We are winning, and we keep winning and winning and winning and winning, and it's MAGA Hat Monday, and we keep right on winning. And I'll tell you this. As I said, Republican Party is the party of morality. Right of center is the side of correctness, the side of righteousness, the side, dare I say, of even godliness. Which segues to my closing statement that I always say onto my John Crancians. Respect God, watch out for the Illuminati, like, follow, share, comment, subscribe, stay strong, keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host that is never gross, MC Too Tall. Hey, listen, be safe out there, yeah?